Hello viewers, welcome once again to another edition of our women's program Karimpe. Today we have a very delightful person with us, an entrepreneur. Some of you may have heard her name already. Yes, she is Shidalin Marbaniang. Well, Shidalin Marbaniang is the founder of Sindhu sanitary napkins or pads as we call it. Well, we all know that a woman goes through a cycle, a periodic cycle in her life, and where she needs to use the sanitary napkins. But did you also know that sanitary napkins are actually being manufactured here locally, which are very, very cost effective, hygienic, and they are also sterilized? Yes, Shidalin has thought all of it. She was very highly concerned about the hygiene conditions of some women, especially who go through their menstrual cycle, and perhaps because of traditional beliefs and practices may not be following the right practice when they go through their periods or their cycle, their monthly cycle. So she came up with the idea that why not manufacture a cost-effective sanitary napkin or a pad that will be affordable for every woman, especially in the rural areas, for girls especially, so that they can lead a healthy life. With that in mind, though she was initially in a different profession, she came to this business and she launched in the year 2019 something called the Sindhu sanitary pad. And thereon her journey began, and today she is not only empowered herself but also empowered other women. Along with her there are at least 8 to 9 other ladies who works with her, and she produces these sanitary napkins. She is distributing them to the rural areas, and she has a lot more plans of covering the whole of state and why not the northeast in the near future. So here we are then to talk to her, to especially to understand this innovative article which is so useful for women especially that she came up with. And I hope you will stay on in this program, because right now I bring before you Shidalin Marbaniang. Hi there Shidalin, a very hearty welcome to you. It's such a pleasure, I've read about you in the internet, etc., and to be able to meet you actually in person, a person who is so innovative, who's so thoughtful, and who has come up with something called the Sindhu sanitary pad. We heartily welcome you to Doordarshan, Shillong. Now tell us, Shidalin, you were initially a teacher, right? Tell us about how this journey of Sindhu sanitary pad, it all began for you. How did it begin for you?
For me, I have been as a teacher for 11 years, but being a teacher, I have always had the thought of being an entrepreneur, because I've seen, like, from the time when I started when I was small, my granny herself, she's an entrepreneur. Okay. I would say during that time nobody gave the name entrepreneur, so she's just a small business in our own hometown. When I look back at her, comparing her and us, because even though she herself, she is not going to school, but then she managed to let all her children to go to school, and they are in their own different sectors of jobs. Even me, I'm as a teacher in my profession, but then because of that, when I look back, I look at my granny, but the potential for earning that she is making and the potential for earning that we are making, we never have the same match.
Right.
But then literally why I have into the passion of sanitary napkin, being a teacher, I have seen lots of students, they struggle. And moreover, not just that, because also most of them, they were absent during the school time, or they will not have that full concentration. Mm-hmm. So I thought, what kind of business I'm going to start? Right. It always begins with a thought. What? I do have a dream, but what kind of a dream that during that time it was not so clear. So I have been into mushroom training center. I have also, I have started mushroom business
mushroom
also.
Growing also.
Yeah, growing.
Okay.
But then that's not my passion, so it just end up just for a few months only. Then after that, when I went to the block level, in the block, I saw that there are lots of training that's available over there. So when I saw in around 14 trainings, but what struck me, I have seen people, they choose mostly the other, but then I choose sanitary napkin.
Right.
I said, oh my God, for a very long time, with my passion, it will match. That's how I started.
That's how it started. And obviously, sanitary napkin, periods, the cycle that women go through, it is still considered a little bit of a taboo, right? And the rural areas, it is more so. We don't talk about it openly, right? It is always hushed up. you know, because we say that, oh, the boys will hear, the men will hear. It's not very nice to talk. Yet you took up this challenge of going through into a domain which is not followed regularly and naturally by others. So that goes to show, I think, the kind of a person you are, that you are ready to take challenges and the problems that comes along with it. So the journey began from 2019, right? So thereon, when you got into it, then how did the process begin?
Okay. First, since the government, they gave training in Nongstoin for almost a week. That's how like I started. But then like to be really in business, it takes a lot of efforts, especially not with money, but definitely I would say with the mind. Because unless the mind is stable, money is not an issue. So that's how when it take me 1 year just to say yes to my dream.
Okay.
And when I get a call from one of the officer from MBDA, Nongstoin, I even asked him for a time. Give me just 2 weeks of time. I'll think first. Because leaving a job, it's a very big. I mean, like it'll be a very big issue because
decision that you are taking.
People when they say job, oh my God, job. But
at least steady income is
steady.
there.
But during that time, nobody like embraced entrepreneurship when I started, and it's really like a very, I would say, a very tough journey to say yes. And definitely, as soon as I start in 2019 in LBI District Incubation Center, I almost like give up with my job. I resign and give up with my job. Then I just concentrate on business. When I concentrate on business, the real problem creeps in. But in order to deal with the problems, the solution is not that just to give up because like I couldn't work. So I have to put all my efforts with regards to the business, how to bring finance on the table, because first money comes first. After the training, then when I start in LBI only. That's how I launch my products as well. I do have 7 girls whom I train. Firstly, when I train them, then I do make them to work along with me. Some do, some don't, because like it's for them it's just a job, never a journey, never a dream. So it is like totally different. And when I started, you know, like one thing that I really realized being an entrepreneur, unless I have a passion, forget about money and the other stuff, unless I have the passion, I'll not be able to pursue. Because how hard the financial situation will be, but as long as your passion is there, as an entrepreneur, I will not say just only in doing sanitary napkin is a very sensitive topic, I would say. Whenever I go and when I pitch, people will laugh at me. But then like I'll never give up based on the laugh and the talks.
Absolutely. And I loved what you just used these words called, it was a journey, it's a passion for you. It's not a job. Unless you have a dream, to realize your dream, you have to be passionate about your dream, right? And that's what you did. So tell us now, when you approached, now you started the manufacturing. Of course, in the manufacturing bit, you are using eco-friendly material, right? What is the kind of material you are using, and from where are you sourcing those materials?
Okay. At first, when I started, it's through the government that they are helping, and literally when I have built a network. First, the first network that I built is from Guwahati. After Guwahati, Delhi. After Delhi, then definitely from Chennai. So I source out the best product from Chennai. So in the meantime, while doing the sanitary napkin, I realized that in the village, we also have another thing that we are lacking, that is innerwear. A quality innerwear. Innerwear will be there, but quality innerwear. Whatever innerwear we are getting, you know, it's all made and manufactured from China.
Synthetic.
Yes, synthetic. That's how like it struck my mind. Okay, if I'm working on this line, so why not on this line as well? And if I do only sanitary napkin, I become very selfish. I've seen like in Meghalaya, lots of tailors. The government, DCIC, they are giving training, but that does not being converted like any other states. So many girls, some of the girls will have to move out of Meghalaya, either to some export unit in order to just to get a job. But after 25, it's the right time for them to have their own family. They come back becoming jobless again. With that and hygiene for women, I take another initial to also start the innerwear. That's how I start in a way.
Yeah.
But doing that also, it's not that easy. I do have my co-founder Praveen, who is always like working along with me. So we have been into like when we start, it's a stage 0. Now I would say we are in stage 1.
Okay.
So we are going to kick off in stage 5 very soon. And I do have a dream that by very soon, more or less next 5 years, will be the leading brand from Meghalaya. So when we are using not just women products. When we use the products, we have seen people love brands. That's why we are into quality products, affordable price with quality products, be it in innerwear, be it in sanitary napkin.
Right, because you've kept these sanitary napkins very, very affordable. They are very not expensive at all compared to the ones that you get in market. Plus, you've also sterilized them, I guess, keeping the health concerns in your mind. So how do you manage to keep it so cheap, in the sense affordable for all?
Okay, in order to keep the products at a very affordable price, the first thing is that we have to calculate. While calculating, either we have to reduce either labor costs or the raw material costs.
Okay.
I cannot reduce the labor costs because like there is a certain amount that is being fixed from the government as well. So what I have to do is that we have to reduce from the material costs. How will I do that? That takes a lot of efforts. So whatever knowledge I have, in order to, instead of buying expensive stuff, I'll always use alternative source so that it will be always affordable. With regards to raw materials, in order we have to buy in bulk, the price is reduced. That's how like we are doing.
Okay, so you are very calculative, you are very far thinking, and you're very shrewd, and your business acumen is very, very strong, I think, right? And that is why you've calculated everything, and then your product has come to be so affordable. But then, Shidalin, how did you approach the villagers? Because as I said, there's a lot of taboo, a lot of stigma still associated, even with the word called period, even with the word called menstrual cycle. We don't want to talk about it. People will say, oh, what is she talking about? How did you go and approach the village people, the rural areas who still are so brand conscious? How did you make them, convince them really that buy our products, it is cheap, it is good for you, it's affordable?
Along with MRLS, the VO, the village organization, women village organization through NRLM. So they are in one VO, there are around like 5 to 6 village together. I mean women in one section.
Right.
So when I gave the
you went and spoke to them.
When I went and spoke to them, I highlighted about why sanitary napkin.
Right.
What is the use?
Sanitary napkin? Yes.
Why you are still like sticking in the like
cloths
using
and
the
all
cloths
that,
and
yes.
the other stuff. Based on that, when I spoke, normally like most even women, because we speak among women.
Right.
So normally like even them, they cannot accept that fact that like using sanitary napkin in the village. When I spoke about why they need to use sanitary napkin, that makes them like in highlighted ways. Why? Because it is for the health benefits. When I speak about the health benefits, that makes a big push that they take up the sanitary napkin. And why Sintu sanitary napkin? I push them because it's a home brand. When I spoke to them, I spoke in a very like, I don't know how
in the language maybe they will understand.
When I spoke to them, I told them, if you support Sintu, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting the girls who are walking along with me. And who are the girls? Maybe one day might be your children. That's how that makes them, to go local for vocal.
Absolutely wonderful the way you're speaking. I'm sure the women who are watching, the girls who are watching will feel so encouraged. The words that you're using are so meaningful, yet you were just an ordinary teacher teaching social science in a school, and there you went further ahead, and you are making, you thought of something and you're making those dreams into reality. What is the way forward, Shidalin? What is it that you plan? You also said that you're manufacturing innerwear, that is innerwear, ladies innerwear especially, because along with sanitary napkins you also need a proper or a cheap variety and a good variety of innerwear. So these innerwears also you're producing yourself here along with the girls?
Ma'am, when I do sanitary napkin, I would like to highlight again, seeing that we in rural areas, always our stress in rural areas, we didn't get the quality products. So because of that, that came out with the idea that I have to do innerwear.
That's right.
And innerwear, it is basic use. I mean, like basic products that everyone is using on day to day. And why women's, they are into lots of, I would say, they are getting the sickness, you know, diseases,
some health issues.
yes, health issues in them. It is because of when the parents are buying from the time when I was small till she's grown up. We are using not organic, I would say, organic fibers.
Right.
Mostly they will use the this one polyester. Polyester is
synthetic.
being,
Right. It doesn't go really well. Yeah, because and you are using eco-friendly materials, because the materials you yourself, as you said, that you have sourced through various places, and then you chose that particular material which is skin friendly, which is health friendly, also especially in the context of women. So now what is the plan in the next few years? Of course, you said that you are taking it forward. Right now you are still giving out, selling these products in the rural areas. But then you also have plan of reaching out many other rural areas as well as the whole state and the northeast, maybe in the near future?
I guess this year and next year, our main target is focus in Meghalaya.
Right.
So even for marketing, what I've been doing is that I have been like going bit by bit so that I'll be able to understand. More or less, what we have been planning is that we'll push through the wholesaler.
Okay.
First, we'll go from rural areas so that we'll be able to understand the need of the people. When I make a product, it should not be what I want to make. It should be what people really long for, whether it's comfortable for them or not. The main thing that I produce is that it should be like comfortable for the girls who are using. And once I have that confidence, I'll hit hard, not just in Meghalaya. I'll go beyond Meghalaya as well.
Yeah, that's very impressive indeed. But then convincing businessmen also, because they have to keep it in the shops, how do you convince them? Because they also are convinced in products that they are used to. They are not so used to local products, so they will be a little suspicious. How do you convince them?
For that, since we have been going for experiment directly from the young girls, they give us the real feedback, and they are the one who is using. Right now, I'm like when I'm going through SHG one-on-one, then also even in the shop, when I went, I do get the feedback that you say, we don't want to take local products, we want to take products from outside.
Exactly.
In order to convince them, the only thing is that make the best product, let the other use, and let the customers go and ask from the shop.
Absolutely.
Because like I cannot go and say that my product is the best. When the customers, when the consumer says their product is the best, do you have the products? That is the right time. I should not go and hunt for them. They will be the one who is going to hunt us.
How true is that? Because the feedback of people, and nowadays that's why companies always ask for feedback. Like you buy any products, they will repeatedly ask for our feedbacks, because that is so important. So in the future, you want to extend it further. You want to, go beyond that. But then, being a lady entrepreneur, have you ever faced any challenge or any such situation, or maybe also some highlights, because you have been awarded also. You have been recognized by the government. You have been awarded by the governor of the state also. Tell us about your accolades and some of the awards that you've won.
Being an entrepreneur, I'm so glad that the government, they look up at us. Not us, I mean like a little recognition, but matters a lot.
Absolutely.
The first recognition that I got is from MIE. That makes me, whenever I want to give up, I want to turn back. Whenever I look back at that award, when I look at it, it always speaks to me, Shida, who are you? That makes me a little bit strong. I always say, okay, I'll pursue ahead. The problems in business is always like ups and downs, a lots of. First, when COVID-19 hit, entire business collapsed. And that is the time that I've just started. So you can imagine the financial crush that had happened. But then the government, so side by side, they do help. And the issue and the challenges that I met with regards to, you know, approaching, that matters a lot. Unless while I'm approaching, the thing that I mean, like during that time my son is still small. I have to carry him on my back and go everywhere. So that is another challenge. But being an entrepreneur, I cannot like left out motherhood. That side by side, you know,
how you balance
balancing time.
You're doing it so perfectly. You've got 3 children. You're a mother. You're a homekeeper. You're a businesswoman, right? And then you're a thinking businesswoman because you're planning for the future. I mean, we can only say hats off to you, Shidalin, for all the good things that you're doing. And I'm sure that there's so much that it's bubbling in your head in the near future, which the state of Meghalaya, and yes, I think all the girls who are watching this program will be using your brand sooner, and you'll go further. But then, as we are almost drawing this conversation to an end, what is the kind of message that you would like to give to so many young girls who finish their studies, waiting for a job to happen? They don't have a job. But then what is the kind of message you would like to impart to them? You know, how can they start, think innovatively and push their dream ahead?
My message to all the girls, first thing is find your passion. Meghalaya is a land of opportunity. Anywhere you turn, not just Meghalaya. This generation, it's a generation of opportunity comparing to us before, because we lack internet. We don't have touch screen, you know, like them. So if they really make the best use of the passion that they have, along with the best use of whatsoever the world is giving to them at this moment, there's nothing so called unemployment. But the only thing, you have to change your mindset. When the mindset is changed, again I will say, everything will change. Positive mindset.
Positive mindset. I think with that, with a very positive note, because I can feel the positivity that you have exuded in this program, and I'm sure it has touched many of the viewers who are watching this program, the ladies especially, the young girls especially. Hats off to you once again. Congratulations. All the very best for your near future, and all the endeavor and the support that you have from your family too, I think matters, right? So thank you so much, and all the very best. Well then, dear viewers, this is Shidalin Marbaniang. Impressive, wasn't she? Well, in the beginning, she was a bit nervous, but once she spoke from her heart, and how she spoke, you heard, right? A dream that she has turned it, you know, into a passion, and she has not stopped from turning it into the reality that she is living it today, and she has much more dreams to fulfill in the near future. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have been greatly encouraged by listening to her and watching this program. Well, from the two of us here and the entire team of Doordarshan behind the cameras, etc., we take your leave. Until next time, it's goodbye.